Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Dragon Age the Veilguard is on the horizon of release, and I've seen, oddly enough, vast majority of the discussion surrounding it has been, oh, how the game will be mature, there will be nudity, what are the penis sizes, are we going to see this and that, what sort of romance options are there going to be, everyone's pansexual, bisexual, etc., etc., with not too much discussion of the actual gameplay, which has me a little concerned. To call these a bit of a red flags. Now, these aren't coming out from, I guess, fans. This is coming out from the devs and the mainstream journalist outlets, the people trying to promote the game, to get everyone interested in buying the game. Now, to call these red flags, as I was saying, would be a massive understatement. My concern, first and foremost, was, well, it was the art direction that they were going, the change from previous Dragon Ages that were a little more realistic, and the shift in style choice had me throwing up a few question marks all over the place. Wasn't necessarily something I hadn't played the past couple of Dragon Ages. I played the original too, so this was a bit of a shift and something to say, well, maybe I can get into it, maybe not. I still have to play Baldur's Gate 3. But with all the, as I was saying, with the dev coming out saying, oh, it'll be mature and R-rated and yada yada, it seemed like they were trying to latch on to the buzz behind Baldur's Gate 3, and that's probably a losing endeavor from the get-go. But more recently, a more recent video and discussion has reared its ugly head, and it's time for me to talk about it. And that would be the discussion surrounding the character creator. Over here on Smash JT, go check out this man's website. He does some wonderful work, does a lot of the heavy lifting, and unfortunately, I think he did a little bit of digging into Anita Sarkeesian, and he's probably going to need a break after that. But over here, Dragon Age, the Veilguard, surgery scars. We're promoting that. Push inclusivity over gameplay, and that is the number one problem, regardless of what you think or how you feel or how much inclusivity you want. They're pushing that over the actual story, the actual gameplay. Now, my number one question, much like with having wheelchairs in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, surgery scars in a fantasy setting that is chock full of magic. I talk about verisimilitude. It's one of my new favorite little long words that I always use. Verisimilitude, the idea that what's happening in front of you, what's happening in the world, makes sense because of the world itself, because of the rules that the universe puts forth to you. If you have a world, if you are living in a world of high magic and high fantasy, having to go through actual surgery to have surgery scars. There are magic items in the D&D universe, which is what Dragon Age is based on, whether you like it or not. The core world, the core idea of Dragon Age games, of RPGs, is originally based on Tolkien, because D&D is based on Tolkien's world. It's based on Dungeons and Dragons, where you have items, some are cursed, some are not, on potions and spells that have the ability to change your body from head to toe on an atomic level into something else. So why would it be necessary to have surgery scars? Why would it be necessary to have a mastectomy at all? Snap of the finger, quick incantation, a ring you put on, a belt you put on, a girdle, or a little magic spell that could be researched and created, which could possibly be very beneficial to anyone and everyone in the world that you create. It would make a lot more sense than the whole surgery scars. But people want representation. People want this. Try to make it make sense in the world. But enough on that tangent. Let's continue with the article. Push for inclusivity. Now, Smash, we both know this is a lie. They're not trying to push inclusivity. They're trying to push an agenda. And I'll get into why I say that. Dragon Age the Veilguard character creator adds top surgery scars, among other things. Options, pushing inclusivity. Smash, stop doing that. You have it in the title. Don't repeat yourself. Fuss, fuss, fuss. What is happening in the game industry these days? Sheer insanity. I have to agree with you now. When I first read that sheer insanity, I said, no, it's not insanity, but No, it actually is. If your definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, well, then I have to agree with you on this one. BioWare's upcoming Dragon Age: The Veilguard has unveiled the character creation feature that allows players to add all kinds of stuff, top surgery scars to their avatars, because in a fantasy-filled, magic-rich land, apparently you need representation of things in real life. And that is a problem that a lot of players have, that we're going to be called istophobes for. You're taking real life, real world, and putting it into our escapism, into our fantasy. And it just feels off. It takes people out of it. Not going to go, well, mentally ill gamers, everybody's got their opinions. Thanks to Ubisoft, thanks to YouTuber Veilguard, who has some early access to the game, we have an inside look of how tragic it really is. I'm not watching this video again. I'm going to show some stills on what my actual point and my problem with all this is going to be. You might be, you may not be shocked. This discovery came as part of the company's larger effort to inject modern ideology into the game design, raising more eyebrows about how the focus is on pushing an agenda instead of making a game or story better. And that's definitely the part of the problem that I have with all this nonsense. I don't care what you do as long as it's fun. Make it interesting, make it entertaining, make it fun first. Why is that so difficult to understand? If what you're putting in there, if the character customization options make sense, and I always go back to Cyberpunk 2077, it's a game, it's a world set in the far future where body modification is normal, where if your body is not modified with chrome, with any sort of implants and whatnot, you're actually seen as an anomaly. In a world where, surgery to add, subtract, you can be a female with voluptuous chest and a massive bulge, or the opposite, a big buff burly man with, well, a vagina. It makes sense in the world. It doesn't off-putting because, well, that's what the world is. The other example I like to give when it comes to Cyberpunk 2077, one of the artists, Lizzie Wizzy, decided to, well, check out on stage in the middle of a concert, had her consciousness moved into a fully chromed out body and finished the concert. It was done simply as for publicity, but it is something that can be done. So the body modifications that we're seeing here are not abnormal in Cyberpunk 2077. They make sense. Verisimilitude. If you have a magical world, scars, top surgery scars, I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense in the universe, in the world that you have created, in this fantasy world. The game's character creator was first teased back in July when Game Informer's Wesley LeBlanc previewed the system. Now defunct. Oops. Oh, that's true. Game Informer. Oopsie doopsie. At the time, LeBlanc emphasized that inclusivity was a driving force behind the design, noting the developers' intention to allow for extensive customization. Extensive customization. That's a lie. That's an absolute, provable, bold-faced lie. Pronoun selection, don't care. Non-traditional hair dye colors, don't care. Customizable body types, yet again, full-blown lie. It's pandering. It's pandering to a particular demographic that, well, is a much smaller demographic than the gamers that actually would want to buy this game if it weren't for nonsense like this that will pull you out of the world. While this has raised some eyebrows, raised quite a few eyebrows at the time, no one could have predicted just how insane the level of ideological integration BioWare has now made explicit. Character customization and a political platform. Well, again, I leave that up to you, the lovely listener and viewer, to decide for yourself. Players can choose 4 different races. Oh, the Kunari. We've seen what they've done. Look how they massacred my boy. Seriously, what is this? What is this design shift? It's such a massive change, massive shift from one style to another, where, like, if you want to get Dragon Age fans into it, why would you do this? Beyond that, it's clear that the game then begins to lean heavily into those tired progressive social politics, of course, including the ability to choose pronouns. That's nothing new. Alongside toggling between male and female. See, now hold on a second. This, I think, is a step forward. If they're actually allowing you male and female instead of body type 1 and body type 2 and that nonsense, adding non-binary, fucking whatever. Male and female are actually there. You can have the he, her, she, him, he, her. Yeah, I said it. All that stuff, again, these pronouns, nothing new. I'm pretty sure one of the Saints Row games did it decades ago. So, but actually putting male and female, again, instead of body types, could be a step in the right direction. Maybe. No, it's not, because this entire character generator is a step backwards. Because while they're trying to claim that they are so ultra inclusive, well, we're going to get to you in a second. Leave that there. They're not inclusive, because while you are adding ideological, modern day, real world nonsense into the character creator, you're taking out glute size. As you can see in the screenshot, 100% glute size. And that's all you've got? What about the chesticles? This is 100%. Now, if you're going to cater to one side, why couldn't you cater to all sides? Because you have the power fantasy men and women out there who want to look smoking hot with double D chesticles running around and a smoking badonkadonk, for lack of a better term, because, well, just say ass. I'm just going to say ass. What's wrong with having a thick butt, thick thighs? If you're going to allow people to remove their breasts from the female model and put surgery scars up there to show everyone, to remind every single person that plays, to show that, look, I'm inclusive in this. Why can't you be inclusive of, well, as everyone likes to call them, the gooners? Or what we like to call them, those who are attracted to beautiful male and female forms. What's wrong with that? What happened with that? Did you lose the plot somewhere? You're trying to claim that this character creator is so inclusive. It is inclusive to everyone. Well, as you can see, like I said, that is a provable, outright lie. Because if that was the case, this form right here would probably be closer to, the 40 to 50%. Increase that up a little bit to 100%. Probably should have a nice, thick Latina butt. Same thing with the breast size. This is what? Barely an A cup? 100%? 100% should be comical in all cases. All right? The 100% of the slider should be the comical proportions, where where 70 to 80%, maybe an 85% would be your average healthy D or double D cup when it comes, 36, 24, 36, only if she's 5'3". I've heard a lot of people complaining about the height, that there's really not much difference in the height and whatnot. So, make your decision in of itself, but nothing, you can't deny. Chest size, this is a joke. Glute size, ass slider, giggity, is a joke. You are not being inclusive to your average everyday individual who just wants the power fantasy, who likes the attractive. You want to be inclusive to this small, rather small, like it or not, it is a small demographic of people, much less gamers. You want to be inclusive to them? Fine. Do what you think is right. But stop being exclusive to the vast majority of gamers out there who want to open their wallet, give you money for that extra little continuation, expanding of an IP that they love, getting that escapism, pulling them out of the modern day real world nonsense they have to deal with, especially on social media. Give them the escapism. If you're going to be inclusive, put your money where your mouth is and be actually inclusive. But it does make me wonder, back to Smash's little article, Corrine Bush. Smash discovered this live the other night, and, well, it's interesting that Corrine, the game director for Dragon Age Veilguard, with the surgery scars, top surgery scars, she worked on another game more recently that, well, added the same thing, and that would be The Sims, with their diverse, inclusive character creator. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. They say once is a coincidence, twice is a pattern. I wonder what other games good old Corinne is going to be working on next and what those character creators are going to be like. But that's all I've got about this. I don't get the art style, and the inclusivity message with the character creator is a lie. I've seen a few people talk about online, this is a mature rated game. If you don't like it, well then don't buy it. I love that statement because it's worked out so well for games like, I don't know, Dustborn and, oh, what's the most recent one? That people had a problem with the art style and the look of the characters and whatnot. Oh, Concord. How did that work out for you? If you don't like it, don't buy it. Vote with your wallet and see how that goes. I do wonder how Dragon Age Origins, oh, not Dragon Age Origins. Oh, I long for better times. How is the Veilguard going to do as far as sales go? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do. And I hope to see you on the next one.